Hi, I'm Joe Cray. I'm with USGBC, and I am with Daniel Hartsig and Dave Hubka with Transwestern. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
It's delighted to have you here. I want to talk a bit about your V4 prototype. It sounds very exciting, and I'm kind of curious to learn more about it and any sort of challenges associated with it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's been very challenging. Lead V4 is pushing the envelope for all of us. We're doing some things that haven't been done before. And the challenge with the volume program is that we're trying to figure out a way to do these credits exactly correctly for the next 10 years. We don't know what the market's going to look like in 5 years, so honestly, we don't know which credits are going to be more easily or less easily achievable. So it's a little crystal ball work at this time, but we've worked through that with great help from the U.S. Greenbuild Council.
That's fantastic. And you all are very involved in a lead user group, and you're also involved in lead volume. Daniel, let me start with you about the lead user group. Can you talk to me a bit about it, its inception, where it's at right now, and where you're planning to take it?
Sure. So the lead user group was started by Intel in cooperation with USGBC, kind of laid out a framework saying, hey, we've got a lot of issues with industrial facilities that are really difficult to address through lead. And we know that there are other industrial companies that are pushing to expand their reach within lead. Can we get together and start talking? And literally that's what it is. It's a great means of communicating to between each other as industrial facilities, and also then taking those concerns and being able to address them through a vehicle with the USGBC. And it's now spread to, I believe, 5 total user groups. Industrial, and pardon me, I don't know them all, but industrial, commercial, retail, and hospitality, and I forget the 5th one. But yeah, so it's spreading out, and they're really great vehicles, and more people should get involved in them. There are ways to do so, so if you're interested, it's a great means of communicating your concerns and producing solutions. Some of the things we've come up with so far, if you start seeing alternative compliance paths for industrial facilities, something like that, most likely it came out of this working group. Changes to definitions, things like that over time have really been pushed by this group. So it's a great vehicle.
That's great, and a tremendous opportunity to build out capacity in the market as well.
Definitely, because the more we can get USGBC to understand how it works, elsewhere, outside the box, then we can include more people in the process and get better buildings across the world.
Dave, I want to turn to you. You're heavily involved in lead volume. For our viewers, can you explain lead volume and Transwestern's role with volume?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So lead volume is a program that's used for companies that have standards that they want to replicate again and again, whether it's local to a region or around the world. And what the program helps projects pursue lead certification is you write a prototype, basically a lead specification, and it gets pre-certified, and as long as you follow that pre-certification, you become lead certified at a much more economical rate and a much more streamlined rate, and your certifications are achieved in a much quicker time frame. So it's a win-win-win.
Great. I want to learn a little bit more about Transwestern's sustainability philosophy and how LEED and some other GBCI offerings such as GRESB or WELL or PEER or EDGE might play into that.
Sure. So I guess our involvement in LEED in general and other sustainable programs kind of was born out of a culture of service within our country, within our company, and it was really about delivering the best possible product. And LEED became a vehicle that was used to gain recognition for stuff we were already doing. So it's then morphed over time, and now we're getting into WELL. We've dallied in other rating systems, and we've gained enough recognition that we get pulled in almost more often to do work for other companies than it was at the inception to do work within our own company. So.
Oh, and absolutely. For other rating systems, obviously LEED's a main component of our work, but we just submitted our first WELL project last week, so we're excited for that. We're getting people WELL accredited within our company. We're heavily involved with GRESB, so we're into that. As far as the sites, PEER, EDGE, these other rating systems, they're still quite new to us, but we are very excited in the next 5 to 10 years to come back and say, yes, we are involved with all of them in some capacity.
I do international marketing for USGBC, and I just would like to ask a question about your international efforts. Can you talk to me about some projects that you have going on around the world, LEED associated with them?
That's a great question, and I can talk generally, and Dan can talk specifically, because I sell, Dan does. So in my aspect, or my view, is that it's a challenge, number one, internationally, because they design and construct buildings differently than we do. When you're in meetings and they say, what's ASHRAE, what's the EPA, I don't expect that question. So it's kind of reprogramming our brains how they function internationally, and that's where Dan comes in, and he's in fact going to Thailand in a couple weeks to kick off a lead project for us there.
I'd love to hear about that.
We do work on pretty much, or we've done work now on every continent except for Antarctica. And
There's still
mostly,
time.
There's still
we'll
time.
get there.
Well, we're waiting
We'll
on
get
that one. They just announced actually a Antarctic lab that's really sustainable, but it moves. So of course,
Can't be a lead building.
Can't be a lead building. But anyway, no. A lot of work internationally, and it's gotten us a lot of exposure to different ways of thinking and getting outside the box. And we can take that back to the USGBC, and then through some of these other avenues, such as LUGIF, and bring that back and help to build the rating system better. So
Great. And this is your 5th Greenbuild?
It's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, going on to almost 10 for me.
Right. I know you both just arrived, but what are you hoping to achieve this week and get out of the experience this week? I'll start with you, Dave.
Make connections to customers, future customers, USGBC folks that I always deal with in teleconferences and emails to physically see what they look like. It's been pretty exciting for me. And to have at least 1 or 2 takeaways from the week, I would consider it a success.
Great. Daniel.
I'm always interested in learning new things, but I've started to realize that people are starting to come to us now, and being at Greenbuild, running into random people or inspiring random people to come up to you is one of the great networking benefits of coming here. So
Wonderful. Well, I mean, it's a tremendous position to be a subject expert. At
we
this
get to
point,
meet
right?
you, Joe.
And you get to meet me. So.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you for your leadership, and I hope you enjoy your Greenbuild.
great. Thank you very much.